Hi, today is March 22nd, 2023, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 484 for the year, Please Please Me. Last week I was like, yo, have I ever listened to Please Please Me, the first Beatles album, all the way through? And then I was like, no, I don't think I have. So then I was like, fuck me, I'm going to listen to that shit while I make some fucking pancakes. So then I did that. So then I was like, fuck me, that was fucking amazing. So then I looked that shit up on Wikipedia and discovered that next Wednesday, meaning today, is the 60th anniversary of the release of Please Please Me. And I was like, fuck me, I should listen to that shit again next Wednesday, meaning today, and write poems about it. And then I was like, yeah, that will show those motherfuckers. And then I was like, yeah, and that brings you up to date. Poem number 485, The Covers. The album Please Please Me is basically a recreation at Abbey Road Studios of the live set that the Beatles were playing at the Cavern Club in Liverpool at that time, 1963. It has 8 original songs and 6 covers, and when I listened last week, one of the standouts was Anna by Arthur Alexander. It's the 3rd song, but the first cover and the first ballad on the album, and John Lennon sings the shit out of it. After listening to Please Please Me last week, I listened to Arthur Alexander's original version. The critic Dave Marsh says Lennon may have learned how to sing ballads by listening to Arthur Alexander, and that's certainly a plausible theory. After Anna, George Harrison sings Chains by Goffin and King, then Ringo sings Boys by Luther Dixon and Wes Farrell. So by the 5th song on the album, each Beatle has already sung lead on one song. The other song is sung by Lennon and McCartney together. McCartney sings only one of the covers, A Taste of Honey by Bobby Scott and Rick Marlowe. It's my least favorite song on the album. Lennon sings 3 covers, Anna, Baby It's You by Mac David, Barney Williams, and Burt Bacharach, and the incredible album Closer, which I have too much to say about. It will have to wait until the next poem. Poem number 486, Twist and Shout. Can you even look at the words Twist and Shout and not hear this incredible fucking song? It was written by Phil Medley and Burt Burns, also known as Burt Russell. And John Lennon sings the absolute bloody motherfucking shit out of this song. It was done in a single take that AllMusic called the most famous single take in rock history. Lennon actually said he was initially ashamed of his vocal performance, but now it doesn't bother me. He wanted a do-over, but he had nothing left for the second take. But my fucking God, it's amazing. I listened to the original version by the Top Notes and the version by the Isley Brothers that was produced by Burt Burns and that the Beatles emulated, and also the Tremolos, the Tremolos version. They're another Liverpool group, because I was reading a bit how they had recorded it before the Beatles, but the song belongs to the Beatles. They didn't just cover it. They enveloped it and swallowed it whole and spit it out. Listen to the way it starts with those beautiful guitars and bass. Listen to the and those screams and those fucking drums. Listen to Lennon's voice crack on the second Work It On Out. Listen to those come on, come on, come on, come on, baby nows, and listen to the end of the drum part. Listen to the drum part at the end. I listened to it 4 times this morning and heard something else each fucking time. For example, as the last chord rings out, there's this very faint yeah that I've never heard before. It's a motherfucking Beatlemania song. Is it the most famous Beatles song that they didn't write? I think it is. Okay, that's it for the covers. Let's take it from the top and check out the originals. Poem number 487, I Saw Her Standing There. The first song on the Beatles' first album was sung and primarily written by Paul McCartney. But 2 of the things I love about it have to do with John Lennon. As McCartney tells Rick Rubin on McCartney 321, that amazing 6-part series on Hulu, the first 2 lines of the song were originally, "She was just 17, never been a beauty queen," to which John Lennon said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I don't know if he actually said fucking, but I'd like to think so. The line was changed to the more cryptic, "You know what I mean." I like how McCartney remembers that 6 decades later. The other story is one I have known since I was a teenager. In 1974, Lennon was recording Whatever Gets You Through the Night with Elton John, and Elton said, "That's a #1 record." Lennon said no. He had never had a #1 record as a solo artist. Elton was like, "If it goes to #1, you have to come play it with me at the Garden in November." It was released in September of 1974, and it went to #1, so 2 months later, there Lennon was at the Garden. It turned out to be his last major live performance. Sean was born the following year. He sang that song and 2 others, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, which Elton would have a #1 song with a couple of months later, and I Saw Her Standing There. I mean, John could have chosen anything, but he picked a McCartney song, the first song on the first Beatles album. Before they played it at the Garden, Lennon introduces it as a song by an old estranged fiancé of mine called Paul, and then adds, "This is one I never sang, and we just about know it." And away he goes. The first and only time he would sing that song, and the last song he would ever play in front of an audience that size. And away he goes. And the last poem of the day is poem number 488, the rest of the originals. At the beginning of some King Missile song, I sing the word misery, the way the Beatles do in Misery. I don't know why I did that, but I think it's on the recording of whatever song it was. Now that's going to bother me. That song kind of bothers me too. Ask Me Why is forgettable. I forget that song all the time. But side 1 ends with the title track, and fuck me. Then side 2 opens with the Beatles' first single, Love Me Do, and fuck me again. If I try to write about those two songs, we'll be here all fucking day. And what can I say that hasn't been said already? All I can say is fuck me, and I'm sure that's been said about those two songs a fuckload of times. P.S. I Love You leaves me flat, perhaps maybe because Ringo doesn't play on it, just doesn't play drums on it, just maracas. But I love that John Lennon gave Do You Want to Know a Secret to George to sing. And I love that Do You Want to Know a Secret, Do You Promise Not to Tell is from Snow White. There's a Place is the last original on the album. It's really nice. I wouldn't think to play it on my own, but I was happy to listen to it again today. I was happy to listen to this whole fucking album again today. I wonder if Maggie Estep knew that Please Please Me came out when she was 2 days old. I didn't realize it myself until this morning. Anyway, happy birthday, Please Please Me. You are 2.5 years younger than I am, but you sound a lot younger than that. All right, that's all for today. Thank you for listening, or, if you're just reading, thank you for that. But if you're just reading, you're not hearing me, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you.